Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you all are good. So today here we are back with a new video on our structure series, and this time we are going to start beam reinforcement. I was about to start design part for steel, but again we will do that at the end in combination with reinforcement design. So as of now, we will proceed further with the reinforcement. This video will be the first video on reinforcement, and there will be other videos that will come on reinforcement, which will be in advanced level. As of now, in this one, we will understand how reinforcement tool works and how it helps us to automate the rebar modeling. So here we are in level 1, and what we will be doing is we will place our beam here, and this is going to be 400 by 800 and we are on level 1. This is the beam that we have placed. So the length of the beam is 4.8 meters, and this length has nothing to do with the rebar placement, and we will make sure that we are in fine detail view. And if we select the beam, the very first thing that we have to do is we have to provide cover. And once you select cover from here, Revit gives you two options in the options bar. It says that pick the element, and do we want to apply the cover to the entire face. Okay, if we select that, here cover setting opens, and we can decide what cover we want to apply to all the face here. So we will go with 30 and once that is done, you can select, and then if you press enter, you will come out of the command, and again the cover is set. So once you select the beam, just for verification purpose, you can see here that there are three different types of faces to which cover is applied. And again there are details of this beam, how to model the beam, that I have covered in the starting videos. You can go back and you can check that. Now for rebar placement, you can go to structure, and once you come here in rebar, there will be a rebar shape browser next to project browser that will open, and here you will be able to see the different types of the different types and shapes of rebar. And in properties tab, you will see different dia of reinforcement, and then there are different settings for reinforcement which Revit provides us. We will cover this as we proceed further. Okay, so now the very first thing that I need to take you through is this placement plane. So for this one, you can consider the example of a burger. Okay, so the current work plane will act as your meat, which is there at the center of your burger. The near cover reference will act as the bottom braid, and the far cover reference will act as the top bread. Okay, so this is very important to understand. For example, now I am in level 1 and this is my beam. If I want to place at this face, then for that purpose I have to select the near cover reference. If I place far cover reference, it will be placed on the other side, which is the bottom side of this beam. And then here there are placement orientation. Now for this one, you can consider the example of pinning a board, for example, perpendicular to cover. So here you can take the example of a pin that goes inside the board to affix a paper. Okay, so that pin is perpendicular to the board and it's holding the paper. Okay, parallel to the cover, you can consider the example of your writing when you write on a paper. Okay, so that writing is sitting parallel to the paper. Okay, so parallel to work plane. For this one, you can consider the example of an artist. If there is a curved wall, okay, so the artist draws on that curved wall, so that paint follows the curve. Okay, so for that purpose, placement orientation is required, and you can consider these examples to understand when you want to use these tools. As of now, we are in plan view, and what we will do, we need to find our shape for the bar. Okay, so this is the shape 21. Okay, and now I want that I want this main reinforcement, okay, the bottom reinforcement, to resist tension. I want that at this near cover reference, and the plane placement orientation I will keep parallel to work plane. So when I do that, what will happen here, you will see that this is what I was trying to place, and my rebar sits perfectly fine. I just have to reduce the hook length, okay, for this rebar. And again, if you come in rebar set here, maximum spacing is given based on which it is counting that there will be 9 main reinforcement at the bottom. But again, as of now, what will I do, I will keep this as single. And why I am keeping this as single, that I will explain as I proceed further. Okay, so now I have placed this bar here, and if I want to reduce the hook length here, you can see that there is this alphabet A, which is highlighting that this is this length. Okay, and if you select this one, there is another length which is B, and over here there is another length which is C, and the same thing will be displayed here in properties browser also. Okay, so A is 340, I will reduce this to 240, but here it depends on the design condition. It depends what your structural designer has given to you. Okay, so as of now, we will keep this as 150, and same thing we will do it here, 150. Once this is done, you need to place a similar main bottom reinforcement along the length, okay, along the width. So for that purpose, what we will do, we will first place main reinforcement at the top side as well, and for that purpose I will not be going through all these settings. I will simply come here, and then I will say draw mirror, and here I can see that there is a main bar which is sitting at the top side as well. So now I will take a section here, and this section will help me to resolve the clash. Okay, so, but before we move on to resolving the clash, what we'll do, we'll also place our stirrups to resist shear. Okay, so we'll come here, we'll come at the bottom, and this is two leg the stirrups which I need to place. And now I cannot select parallel to work plane. See what will happen if I select parallel to work plane, how it is coming. I can see the legs parallel to this plan. Okay, but again, I don't want that to happen. I will go with perpendicular to cover, and see, this is the stirrup which will cover both the main reinforcement. Okay, it will hold the main reinforcement, it will not allow them to slide. Okay, and I will place this here, and as I am taking the reference of the top cover, see how it is aligning perfectly fine. Okay, so I will place this here, and now when I go to this section, what will happen, I will be able to see a clash here. Okay, so again I will change this to detail view, and then if you see this, there is a clash. Okay, and what we'll do, for as of now we have selected the option of single stirrup, but we need to divide this along the length. Okay, so for that purpose, what we'll do, we'll come here, and we will come here in rebar set, and we will say that maximum spacing, and let this be 150. Let us keep our this thing clean. So what we'll do, we'll delete this first. Okay, this is coming at the exterior side, so I have selected the bar, and I can come here, and I can say that remove this bar. Okay, so that is done. Same thing I will do it here. I will select this one bar, And after I select this one bar, I will remove this from here. Okay, I have removed that, and now I will just move my sectional view inside. And once I do that, next I will simply go to view, and you can see the clash here. Okay, so the reason I did not go with rebar set is because, see, now if you select rebar set, what will happen, there are uh 31 of these stirrups that will act as a group. And here in this scenario, if I remove the clash between the stirrup and the main reinforcement, again there will be a gap for main reinforcement, okay, the middle ones, and it will not hold any strength, it will not have any value based on the design condition. That is the reason we have taken separate set. Okay, this one separate, this one separate, and then if we want middle one, we can group that. Okay, so for that purpose, what I have done, I have taken this separately. So we will take this rebar, and again I will go to edit constraint option, which is very very important. So this way you will be able to avoid clash between the rebar. Okay, so now this edit constraint, it is a parametric modeling. If you change the size of this beam, it will move with it. Okay, so this beam will move with it, this rebar will move with it. Okay, so as of now I have selected the point, the middle point of this rebar, and I want this rebar to be at some distance. Okay, so as of now I will say that this stirrup is 16 mm, it has to be 8 mm. I forgot to change that. So what I will be doing, I will set this to -8, and it has moved from this side. And I'll select the other reference line, which is the center line of this rebar, vertical as well as horizontal. Now I am selecting the horizontal one, I'll select the top one, and then I will say -8 again. When I do that, it has resolved the clash. Okay, there is no clash between the rebar as well as the stirrup, and then you can finish it off. Okay, so if you don't want to repeat the entire process, what you can do is you can simply select this and you can draw mirror. So once you do that, it will be coming correctly over here, and then you can simply copy this and you can place one more here at this middle side. And you can see here, this is the gap that I was talking about. Okay, so now as this bar is a separate bar, what you can do is you can go to edit constraint again, you can select this, and then it will come correctly at the place 0 mm. Okay, so now there are three main reinforcement which we have placed, and the easiest way is that you mirror this up over here. Once you do that, there is no clash among rebar, but again I need to make sure that these rebars are visible in all the views. And if I go to elevation, you do not see rebar here. Okay, you do not see any rebar here because it's hidden. Okay, so we need to unhide them. I will select stirrup and then I will press SA. When I do that, Revit gives me the indication that 7 bars are selected. After that, I'll go to visibility stats, and then I will say that I want this rebar to be visible in all the views. Now when I go and check this out, here there is a rebar, but again I have to change the orientation of this one. The orientation is disturbed. Okay, so the orientation of the bar is disturbed. Again, there are multiple bars which are sitting over here. So what we'll do, we'll delete one. This is the bar, and if I try to orient this, it is this hook length is not coming down. Again, there is a way for doing that. So what we'll do, we'll go to front view first, and at the time of placement we did a mistake. What we'll do, we'll place our main reinforcement again. We'll delete this, we'll not delete the stirrups because they are sitting perfectly fine, nothing is wrong with them. So I will go in south view for this one. And now what will I be doing, again I will take rebar option, and after I take rebar option, this time first we will select the shape, and the shape is going to be this one, 21, and then I will say that this has to be parallel to work plane. So now this is fine, and here you can see here that it is trying to show me that it is avoiding the clash. I will say yes, place it over there, and I will select this one, and I will say 150. Once I do that, again, I will just enable the visibility of this one, and I will make sure that this is visible in all the views. And here you can see here this is perfectly fine. We'll increase the hook length to somewhat 250. Here as well we'll do the same thing. So this depends on the design condition. Okay, this depends on the power bending schedule also. As of now, this is the random value which we are taking, and here still there is a clash. So again, you know the drill. You will be going to edit constraints here, and then you will remove this clash. Okay, as of now you will remove this clash, and you will say that minus 8 mm, and you will select this one, and then again you will say minus 8 mm. It has avoided the clash between the rebar as well as the stirrup. Okay, so now if you want, you can do the smart work of mirroring, and then the same rebar you can copy and bring it here at the center. Now the gap which is created, you can again do edit constraint. You can bring this down, and it is completely fine. It is completely fine. And we will just mirror this up. We will just mirror this up. This one, and then this one. 3 bars are there. We will mirror this up, and we will say let this go and sit at the top, and then I will change the visibility stats. Okay, so these bars are visible everywhere. Now if we see, it's perfectly fine. Okay, it's perfectly fine. So I did a mistake at the start. I was supposed to model this in elevational view, but somehow I started in plan view, because of which uh, it was wrong. But again, here if you come and if you select this bar, Revit gives you the flexibility to change the hook angle also. Okay, so that we will see when we will be modeling the column reinforcement. Okay, so as of now, this is it. This is how you will be placing the rebar. So this is the simplest way. This is a beam and regular shape. But again, what if there is an irregular shape? How you will do it? That is a question. So as of now, we'll wrap up, and we will meet next week with the column reinforcement. Thank you, learners. Rise and shine with me. As always, follow and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you.